Hey gang, I got an offer for you today from LinkedIn. As business-to-business marketers, your needs are unique. B2B buying cycles are long and your customers face incredibly complex decisions. Isn't it time you had a marketing platform built specifically for you? LinkedIn ads empower marketers with solutions for you and your customers. LinkedIn ads allow you to build the right relationships, drive results, and reach your customers in a respectful environment. On LinkedIn, you have direct access to build relationships with decision makers. Of the 875 million users on the network, 180 million are senior level executives. 10 million are C-level executives. You will also be able to drive results with targeting and measuring with their tools built specifically for B2B. And best of all, they work. Audiences exposed to brand messages on LinkedIn are 6 times more likely to convert. LinkedIn ads also rank number 1 for security, community, and ad experience as part of the Business Insider's Digital Trust Study. Make B2B marketing everything it can be and get a $100 credit. It's a $100 credit on your next campaign. Go to linkedin.com/MPN to claim your credit. It's linkedin.com/MPN. Terms and conditions apply. Entrepreneurs Enigma is a podcast for the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. It's the wins and the fails that we all face being entrepreneurs, and how we learn from adversity. Every week I talk to a different entrepreneur with a story to tell. I'm Seth Goldstein. Come with me on the journey. This is Entrepreneurs Enigma. Let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneurs Enigma podcast. I'm Seth. You all know that by now. We're almost at the 100th episode, so by now, if you haven't been listening, I'm Seth. Hi, nice to meet you. I am here with Jason Falls. That name might sound familiar. This is his 3rd appearance on this podcast, his 4th on all my podcasts, maybe more actually, but at least on Digital Marketing Dive, he's done 1.
Yeah.
And he's done 2 others on Entrepreneurs Enigma because the guy is a busy man.
Is it busy or is it attention deficit disorder? What is it?
Or is it just being mentally insane? I don't know.
That could be that.
I mean,
too.
this guy has more side projects than I do. And I wanted to talk about today because we already kind of asked about the ups and downs of entrepreneurship with him. We've asked him about intrapreneurship, but now he's joined a awesome little company called CIPIO.ai, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But he's still doing it now. I want to discuss how entrepreneurship doesn't have to be your full-time gig.
Yeah,
it can be a gig that you eventually sometimes go out and make it full-time. And that's what Jason's kind of master of. He's kind of gone out and done his own thing a little bit and said, oh, there's a better opportunity over here in a company. Doesn't mean I'm shutting down shit or anything like that. I'm just going to quiet that one down a little bit, which is what you're doing with Falls and Partners.
right.
You start that up. You leave Cornett, you start that up, you get this thing of Recipio, and we're all getting like whiplash here. It's like, whoa, what's Jason up to? But then you also have MPN too, which is the thing.
Yeah,
and that's like a major side hustle.
It's an interesting sort of layered, puzzle. Kind of like a club sandwich. I've got a lot of different layers in there of different things, but. First of all, I mean, I can't relax. I'm always thinking about what's next.
Always doing.
What can I be doing to make more money, to grow my business, to grow my clients' business? So I'm constantly that's how my brain works. A little bit of a workaholic. I'm sure my family would say that they would like for me to calm down a little bit more. But the last 3 or 4 months has been really interesting because I was at Cornett, which is a full service ad agency, working for Christy Heiler there for last 5 years.
Good friends with her and all that, yeah.
And I wanted to kind of go back out and build my consultancy because I wanted to work with people other than Cornett's clients. And full time at Cornett, I couldn't really do that. It just wasn't ethically right for me to do that.
Yeah.
And so I started to migrate out to Falls and Partners. In the middle of that, I went to an event with the CIPIO folks who I had done some content for, just kind of, on the side because I still review social technology software and things like that from time to time. And they found out that I was more available because I was I was creating Falls and Partners. I was, starting to cultivate some client work there. And they said, well, actually, we need someone to lead marketing for CIPIO. And I was like, well, that's not what I'm doing. I've not been on the software side of the aisle. But we continued to have a deeper conversation, and ultimately they convinced me that my vision for what influence marketing could be and what they're building from a technology perspective coincided.
Oh,
And it
that's
just
wild.
made a lot of sense. And so I ramped up Falls and Partners for a month or two, and then I immediately ramped it down and was like, you know what? I've got a couple of people that I've been working with for a long time that I'll do a
Yeah.
consulting call from time to time with. So Falls and Partners still exists. It's still
Yeah, it's
there.
still an LLC. It's good to have. Yeah.
Exactly. And I can run, if a software company comes to me and says, "Hey, we love your, social media footprint. We consider you an influencer. Will you do, some content with us?" I can still do that, run that
That's
through
nice.
Falls and Partners. And so I've got that there in case I have
Yeah.
business opportunities. But I basically just took a full-time job, VP of marketing at CIPIO.ai. And I'm,
That's wild.
building out a marketing strategy and content plan for them for 2023 and trying to help grow that business. And within CIPIO, which is really interesting, it's a community commerce marketing platform. And so which means so we are a software provider that builds applications that help brands grow through their own community. So if you look at it from an influence marketing perspective, instead of going out and finding social media influencers who may or may not know who you are and leveraging them for their influence, start by mapping your own community. Who are your customers? Who are your fans? Who are your followers? Who are your people who are, with followers of affinity brands that make sense for you as well? Map your community and see who's influential there first, because those people already know you. They're already passionate about you. They already are familiar with your brand, and they can speak more authentically about you. So it's a kind of an inside out perspective on influence, which totally aligns with my philosophy on influence marketing. And so that's our community influence marketing application is one app in a larger portfolio of applications. We have another one that's all about generative AI content creation for your social media. So becoming more efficient by having AI tools create social captions for you. It's not social captions that you copy paste. You still have to have that human element to, do the editing and make sure that it's in the right tone of voice and whatnot. But we can take 80 to 90% of the workload of writing stuff off of your plate so that you can be more efficient in your job. So that's another application. Then we have a referral application where you incentivize your audience to rate or review you online. So there's all sorts of components to this. What's really interesting about that is if I have an entrepreneurial idea of how another application that can, let's say, I'm just making this up right now, but what if we had a way to automate scraping the social content from your community to pull insights out of it, kind of a social listening on crack? What if I had that concept? We could build that. I could turn that over to the product team and be an entrepreneur within CIPIO.ai, which grows.
Which you're very good at doing too.
So. Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and get right back to the show.
Hey there, it's Jason Falls. If your company or maybe one of your clients sells to marketers, you look for advertising channels that guarantee business marketers are paying attention, right? Let me introduce you to the Marketing Podcast Network. You're listening to it right now. It's a network of podcasts all about marketing. So 100% of MPN's audience are marketers. Reach them by advertising on the Marketing Podcast Network. Learn more and find our media kit at marketingpodcasts.net. Yeah, that's just how my brain works. I'm constantly thinking about what's new, what's next, and what can we do. So if you looked at my professional life in that funnel or in that tunnel of here's CIPIO, and then the Falls and Partners thing is there if I need it.
Yeah, that's a great thing. Then you also have MPN.
Right. So that funnel is normal. MPN makes me somewhat abnormal because
you're already abnormal, dude.
But part of the end for me is a passion project. I love my podcast. I love listening to other podcasts. I love people like you who have podcasts who are friends of mine. And the whole concept of MPN originally for me was, how can I build something that will help my friends grow their podcasts and maybe make money off of it?
Yeah.
And we've gone from,
or at least save money.
We've gone from
my case, I think I make it $300 every $100 a quarter or $300 a quarter, but I don't, because it's Jason's so gregarious and friendly, MPN pays for the hosting, and that saves me $100 a month. So thank you, Jason.
Exactly. So there's some good benefits of it, and
Yeah.
hopefully we grow the advertising revenue so that you make more money over
Love it.
time. But I really am passionate about doing that. I love helping my friends grow their podcasts and make money doing so.
Yeah, aren't we at
And
like
so
44 podcasts or some
yeah,
crazy
we went from
number?
nothing to about 40. It's actually, we've got 41 shows live. We've got 3
That's
others kind of in
wild.
development.
Fo-
And we're only a
that-
year old.
it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I mean, it just goes to show that Jason knows everybody.
I have a pretty good network for sure.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of years at a lot of conferences on the road meeting people, so that helps.
Yeah.
But the MPN thing, I actually, when I was talking to CIPIO about the opportunity there, I said the only stipulation is I have to be able to do MPN. I'm not walking away from that. That's a very important thing to me.
Yeah.
But fortunately for CIPIO, it's also a benefit for me to be with MPN because I can start a podcast for CIPIO, which I am starting in January. And CIPIO can, also be associated with MPN down the road in terms of not only having their podcast there, but could potentially be a sponsor. So there's lots of benefits for CIPIO to be involved with MPN too. So it just works out. And so I spend,
It's
my
nice
nights and
kinda
weekends
synergy.
doing
Yeah.
MPN stuff, and then I spend my day job doing CIPIO stuff.
Good. And you still make time for your kids. We did see you guys had date night with the daughter, which I thought was very sweet. You made some,
Yeah,
I'm sure she's like, Dad, let's go do something, please.
Exactly. Yeah. I haven't, my son's a senior in high school and he has a
He's wanting to do
girlfriend.
with
So
you.
I have a little less time with him these days, but
But he's about to go off to college. He doesn't want to play with Dad right now.
that's true. So Katie's.
He'll want you to come down. He'll want you to go out to college, buy him beer money or something like that. It's when he gets out of college that he'll want to hang out with you.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, we'll see.
You hope so. Are your
Yeah.
kids like you? Are they very gregarious and entrepreneurial and like that?
I think entrepreneurial, yes. Gregarious, probably not. I think both of them are, of course they're in that phase too, where everything I do embarrasses them. So, but they're a little bit more introverted and quiet. But like my son, when he was 11 or 12 years old, started making his own, music and posting it on iTunes and stuff. And so he's got his own little entrepreneurial spirit. My daughter, when she was 10 years old, wanted to start a YouTube channel. And so
my kid's onto that. Yeah.
So we played around with that and we had a couple of different iterations. And then she finally landed on doing young adult fiction reviews. And so she's a bookstagrammer, if you will, and
I like that.
Has a YouTube channel and an Instagram account. And she's got a little circle of, book nerd friends online. And so that's what she does.
Takes after the old man.
A little bit.
Little bit,
Fortunately, in most things, they take after their mother, which is a very good thing.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that because my kid is 10. He wants a YouTube channel. I'm like, can we wait till it's actually allowed? Technically allowed. 13. He's like, I want to know. I'm like, keep practicing. He records his Minecraft and he's practicing, and I'm like, fine, practice. You're not getting a YouTube channel anytime soon. So
yeah.
So Jason, where can people? So they can find CIPIO.
CIPIO is CIPIO.ai. There's a couple different ways for you to kind of test out the generative AI tool that I was talking about. It's currently called Vibe Check on the internet or on the website. We're getting ready to
Vibe Check.
We're getting ready to change the name of that, but it's on there. You can find it and you can get a 2-week free trial. And then if you like it, it's only $20 a month. So it's not,
I like tools that are easy that have a trial and then they don't knock you over the head with pricing.
Yeah. This is something, it's a simple tool, but it's one that's can be very in helping you with your efficiency, your workload efficiency. If you want to get to that one quickly, it's CIPIO.ai/vibecheck. So that's easy for people to probably remember.
We'll have that in the show notes.
Yeah, check that out. And then you can find me, Jason Falls, everywhere, and jasonfalls.com. And certainly come over to marketingpodcasts.net and check out all the shows there too.
41 podcasts. I didn't even know it was that much. Jeez.
Well, and we've got like 3 or 4 like hanging there, getting ready to sign contracts to come on board in January. So we're just going to keep growing, man.
I hear you, buddy. Well, this has been fun, Jason. We'll have to have you on for a 4th iteration when you do something else.
I'll try to calm down for a little while. I need to invest some time in all these things right now, but I hope you'll have me back on when I announce that we've expanded Marketing Podcast Network to acquire another network and grow huge. That'd be awesome.
Awesome. One day, buddy, we can all dream, right?
We'll see.
All right. Well, thanks for being on, Jason.
Thank you, Seth.
That was a great show. Hey, if you're enjoying Entrepreneurs Enigma, please give us a review on the podcast directory of your choice. We're on all of them. And these reviews really help others find the show. Also, if you're getting value from the show and want to buy me a coffee, go to the show notes and click on the link to help me stay awake while I bring you more great episodes to your ears. That's in the show notes, and I look forward to the next episode. Take care, guys. Goldstein Media hopes you have enjoyed this episode. This podcast is one of the many great shows on the MPN Marketing Podcast Network.
You may know you're listening to this show along the Marketing Podcast Network, but did you know there are other great shows on MPN to help your business? Carrie Barrett hosts a great podcast called The VIQ Project. Carrie, tell us what these fine folks will get out of listening.
Okay, you know how you go to shoot a 2-minute video, except it takes 2 hours. You hate yourself on camera. You don't know what to do with it, and so it doesn't perform. You'll get all the tips and tricks you need to fix all of that on this podcast.
Wow, we're going to be lining up for this. Where can people subscribe?
You can find it on my website, which is carriebarrett.com. You can also find it if you search the VIQ Project Podcast on YouTube. Of course, you can find the show at marketingpodcasts.net, or you can subscribe and search for the VIQ Project Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
You heard her. Go subscribe. This podcast is heard along the Marketing Podcast Network. For more great marketing podcasts, visit marketingpodcasts.net.